Hello, babes, and welcome to Coffee and Tequila, the show for people who love stories and love storytelling. My name is Zach.
My name is Alastair.
And we're here to put on a little razzle-dazzle of a show for you. As always, this episode is kindly being sponsored by Helix Sleep, and we'll let you know a little bit more about them a little bit later on in the episode. But first, you're listening to this on a Monday, because it's a Monday morning show. We got two holidays yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday was Juneteenth for anybody who celebrates. We don't celebrate. It's not really our holiday, you know. It's not for us. But we hope if you do celebrate it, that you had a fantastic day.
Exactly.
And you got the day off today. We really hope you did. It was also Father's Day.
It was.
And did you call your dad? We
I
haven't
did.
talked about Father's Day all day.
I did. I called my dad and we had a lovely conversation. What about you?
I'm surprised you actually called your dad. He
How
forgets
are you
sometimes.
surprised?
He's either busy with work or
That's
he
true,
forgets
that's true.
sometimes, and things happen like that.
Well, I saw some stuff on social media about Father's Day. I was like, "Ooh, is it today?"
We just didn't even talk about Father's Day all day. Yeah, I've been thinking about it all day though.
Why have you been thinking about it?
Why? I don't know. I feel bad. So, if you kept up with our journey, I don't have a relationship with my dad anymore. I think this might be the third Father's Day.
That you don't wish him happy Father's Day?
I think so. This is like the third consecutive Father's Day that I haven't really celebrated Father's Day. I kind of cut off a relationship with my dad. I don't have a relationship with him. We're estranged. We coexist. And so I don't really tell him Happy Father's Day, but I've been thinking about it all day. And it was like the same with the other 2 years that I didn't really celebrate it and I didn't tell him Happy Father's Day. I just feel like an asshole, you know. I'm very sound in my decision to like not have a relationship with him, but I still feel bad. Like I feel like I should have said something. I was hoping all day in the group chat that like nobody was going to say anything, that nobody was going to because I'm sure they told him individually, but I was hoping like in the group chat that they weren't going to like start spamming with
big
Happy
thing.
Father's Day, because then I'd be the asshole who didn't say anything, you know?
Well, I think it's fair. You know, like if you don't view your relationship with,
If you don't view.
your relationship with him as a relationship with the father, then I think it's fair for you not to wish him Happy Father's Day.
Yeah. I mean, again, I feel sound in that decision, but there's also like the great thing about social media is you can connect with people, right? And so there's a bunch of people on social media today saying it's a really hard day for them. They either don't have their father in their life or they don't have a relationship with their, either way, they don't have a relationship with their father. And you know, people are saying it's a hard day sometimes, you know. Some queer people are just disowned by their fathers, and you know, it just, you know, not everybody gets to celebrate Father's Day, and the same with Mother's Day too, you know.
Yes.
So,
Well, it's interesting because I saw a lot of discourse on social media about that, and a lot of business owners were talking about, hey, you know, I'm a cake maker, but I make a bunch of stuff, you know, for Mother's Day, never anything for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I'm a restaurant owner, we get a lot of reservations for Mother's Day, but never for Father's Day. Where like you see that Mother's Day is celebrated much more, I guess, than Father's Day usually is. And I wonder if that's because, you know, usually the mother is I would say the lead parent, or a lot of times the single mother.
y'all, we have figured out who is the cause for this country going to hell in a handbasket. The cause for poverty, hunger, school shootings.
The reason you haven't seen your Neopets in years.
Exactly. It's all the drag queens. We figured it out. The drag queens are to blame for all the problems
Everything.
in this country.
Really.
Yes. And I'm so happy that Republican lawmakers are proposing a ban on drag queens in the presence of minors.
And it's really cool that they are shifting something that's like gun legislation to
Yeah.
something that's more important.
Oh,
really.
we got to talk about that for a second.
drag
I didn't even have
queens.
that open notes, but that is absolutely what's going on here. And I hope everybody else has been paying attention to that. That the gun debate has been the hot topic for the past, you know, little while, because we had all of those consecutive shootings that really brought that back up, especially the shooting in Uvalde. And that was the hot button topic. And now the narrative is being shifted, and we need to talk about the drag queens, and that is absolutely purposeful, right?
Yes.
These drag queens were not on nobody's radar, and now, because they don't want you talking about taking away the guns or legislate or like, you know, restricting gun access, they want you to talk about the drag queens. And so it's what everybody's doing now, right? Rile up the LGBTQ community during Pride. That is the way to do it.
Well, also, like, I have noticed so much stuff during Pride, you know, that's happening right now, where they'll be like, take back the rainbow.
Yeah.
Or there's like this whole book thing, you know, where they're trying to take the gay books out of libraries by checking out all the books.
People are mad at the queers right now. They're
Yeah.
mad at the queers. They do not like the queers to be proud at all. legislators in Texas, Florida, Arizona, there's a bunch of them, but Texas, Florida, and Arizona are primarily leading the pack here. Ron DeSantis is threatening to have Child Protective Services investigate parents who take their kids to drag shows. Florida Republican Anthony Sabatini, he tweeted, breaking, drag sex shows aimed at children have come to Florida. I will be proposing legislation to charge with a felony and terminate the parental rights of any adult who brings a child to these perverted sex shows aimed at Florida kids. When will the sexualization of children stop? And then you have a Texas Republican Representative Brian Slayton also proposing a ban on shows with kids there. Drag shows are no place for a child. I would never take my children to a drag show. I will be filing legislation to address this issue in the new Texas Ledge. Arizona State Senator Vince Leach told NPR he has heard more and more from parents complaining about drag shows witnessed by children, and he is now drafting legislation to do something about it. It's a drag on society. These performers are, in my view, disgusting. These kids are looking at something they'll never be able to get out of their minds. We don't allow kids into strip joints. We don't allow them into X-rated movies. So it's foreign to me why we allow this to go on.
It's an interesting topic because they're also like equivocating drag shows up to like going to strip clubs,
of course,
up to going to see X-rated or R-rated movies, and where like. I will say I've definitely been to some very adult drag shows, but those were at like nightclubs at night. You know, that was like it was an obvious 21 and over kind of like club place.
Or even 18 and older, right? Like, it's just, okay, let's kind of get into it a little bit, is that there's always the label perverted, perversion, the all this verbiage that is what else do we have? It's
risque,
sexual deviancy, deviance, disgusting. All of these sort of labels that get put on like sections of the LGBTQ community, right? To prove why they shouldn't be a part of this society and that we need to ban them. And this is just extending to every part of the LGBTQ community at some point, you know? And right now, it's the drag queens are the ones who are being aimed at. They're the big war on drag queens. We don't have a war on drugs. We have a war on drag queens.
Well, it's interesting because I think there's a big pushback because drag queens have been, especially with like big shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, Drag Race have been like very normalized in media.
It's hit the mainstream,
in like the last 10 or so or even more years. And now we're having like drag queens like host different events, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that this is becoming too much.
It probably, well, I mean, again, nobody was talking about this before, right? It was when the gun topics came up and were a hot debate. That's when now that everybody's talking about it. And the argument is that kids should not be exposed to drag queens because drag queens are inappropriate and perverted, and this is perversion. And if you as an adult want to go and take yourself and expose yourself to this perversion, then you are welcome to.
Kids.
But we're over-sexualizing children by taking them to drag shows. There's a lot of examples that have been put out there lately. Conservatives are using a lot of video evidence of drag shows and kids at drag shows to kind of prove their point. I do have a video I kind of want to go over. This is a more recent one that's been in the conversation here recently.
So what's that place called?
That is at Hamburger Mary's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I think Hamburger Mary's is a chain of gay-friendly restaurants.
So was that because you do see a lot like drag brunches where like and stuff like that. Hamburger Mary's. Well, dude, at that point, so like I see it and I can
it's
see
inappropriate. The outfit's inappropriate, but like. So this is kind of where I'm thinking, right? Is like it looks like when she comes upon this kid that she's like surprised there's a kid there, or like didn't expect a kid to be sitting right there and like covers herself up, and it looks like a surprise moment, right? So is that telling me that this was because this is the argument. This is a video that a lot of conservatives are using to kind of make their argument. And they're like, this is family-friendly drag brunch. This is what they want your kids to see.
That doesn't look like family-friendly.
That looks like I'm looking at all of the people in the background, and there's a bunch of adults there, right? And the kid is very clearly like being like, is not standing out in a bunch of adults, right? And she comes upon the kid, and she kind of covers herself up because she's a little bit shocked that the kid's there. That's what it looks like to me. You know, it this is I tried to find whether this was labeled as a family friendly drag brunch, and there's nowhere that it says it was a family friendly drag brunch. It was not. It was not advertised as a family friendly drag brunch. I think that. So I guess the question is, who is? I guess we can ask this question: who is responsible for your kid being able to see a drag show or not being able to see a drag show? Right?
I think as
does
a
that
parent,
responsibility fall on the drag queen? Does it fall on the place promoting the event or the parent?
it depends. So I think for the parent, if you're concerned about stuff, obviously do your research, ask questions. If you're going into a drag brunch, you know, and you're concerned about it, and you know it might not be family friendly, ask a waiter, ask people going in. At the same time, like if you're a performer, if you're a drag queen performer, you obviously dress and perform to whatever event it's going to be.
Yeah.
So if that drag queen was doing a library story time, they probably wouldn't be wearing and performing the same way
They might not
as
be,
they
yeah.
are at a adults only event.
I did ask a couple drag queens that I'm friends with, and they say that, yeah, usually event to event, they know what they're going to do, and they know what event they're about to do, and the people who hire them know what kind of drag queen they are, right?
Yeah.
So they either like maybe tone down the performance, or they, you know, it's for adults, and they're, you know, if you're taking your kid to a drag performance, you have to understand that might be inappropriate, right? And you, as the parent, I think, are the responsible party for deciding if that's appropriate for a kid or not. You know, something like that might not be responsible or might not be appropriate for a kid, and that is on that parent right there. I don't want to see, but like, here's the thing: is like it gets spun as this drag queen perverting this child, right? The parent took their kid to that. Their parent was sitting there laughing while their kid was, you know, looking at that, and the drag queen was a little bit mortified that the kid was like sitting there seeing these, like, you know, silicone titties bopping all the way around, you know.
Yeah.
It's not up to the drag queen. It's not up to the place to parent your kid. I'm sorry, it's just not. You're the parent. That is up to you.
I would say the place does have, like, if you're gonna make it family friendly, put family friendly.
Well, that's the
if
thing.
If it's gonna be an 18 and over,
Yeah.
18 and over. That's like a very simple thing to like.
That is
advertise.
kind of the thing here, is that there are drag brunches that are labeled family friendly drag brunches, and I've seen videos of those, and I don't think those look all that inappropriate.
Well, and there's a reason why they're labeled family friendly, because they want it to be appropriate for people of all ages to come and enjoy themselves.
And so they're actively labeling that family friendly, right? And then if something went wrong at that, then that is on them, right? Because they are labeling it as family friendly, and they are inviting families. But this event was not inviting families. This was just a drag show, you know.
Well,
and so
it's also funny how this is being spun around in terms of like people are acting like they're suddenly, you know, they're just going to go to brunch and suddenly there's going to be a drag queen there twerking on them. Like, you have to actively decide to go to a family friendly drag brunch in order to like go to a family friendly drag brunch.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that this idea that we're just all, you know, the drag queens, I guess, at the moment are out to really pervert children and over sexualize the children.
It's the queers.
It's
the queers are.
It's always
are
the
doing
queers.
it, and
It's
their
always,
agenda.
and it's so tiring, you know. And it doesn't even matter what they're doing, right? Because there's let's get a little bit more G-rated, right? There is an organization called the Drag Queen Story Hour that does drag queens reading stories to little kids, and I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's see what they're wearing in these. I think we'll go ahead and I'll screen record too. So let's just kind of go through some of these images real quick. The very first one, she's just wearing like a silver like top. I don't see any like cleavage out or anything like that.
They're all dressed.
Yeah, the next one is basically dressed in a sack. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Dressed in a sack.
That's what it looks like, a burlap sack. You know what it looks like to me as I'm scrolling through this and looking at all of this? Is it looks flamboyant. It doesn't look inappropriate.
Risque.
It looks like, you know, imaginative dress up and like, you know, flamboyant dress up. Almost like, you know, if a woman dressed up as a character from a storybook, and it was like included glitter and fairy wings and all of these different types of accessories. Would they be getting the same pushback?
It kind of looks like some of them are dressing to the story too.
To the story, exactly. Like that's kind of what drag queens do anyway. Is that they're
storytellers,
exactly. But I'm not seeing a bunch of inappropriate behavior here. I'm seeing drag queens sitting on like a chair with a kid's storybook, But this is also an event that has gotten a lot of pushback from conservatives and conservative parents saying that kids should not be there sitting in front of these drag queens while the drag queens are reading a story to them because it will pervert them. What part of I just want to know what part of that is perversion?
Perverted?
Yeah, there were Proud Boys who showed up to a California one just last week. There was a drag queen story hour going on in California, and the Proud Boys showed up, and they were hurling insults and harassing this drag queen, calling this drag queen a bunch of different names that we won't list here, but really derogatory,
really disgusting names.
Disgusting names. And who? Okay, so in that situation, who is causing more trauma to the child?
What's them? And
Exactly.
And they had to like call the cops. They had to like get all the children and everybody working there into a room to feel safe.
Yeah.
Because they felt like they were being attacked, and like the Proud Boys. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of pride there.
Where's the pride? Proud Boys, where's your pride? Where's your pride? Okay, you should be the
Exactly.
proudest of all of us. Yeah, so I think the question just goes back to like, whose responsibility is it to parent your kid? Is it you or is it the drag queen? Because drag queens are sometimes inappropriate, And I think the drag queen is intelligent enough to know which event they're at, whether they're at a nightclub at 2 a.m. doing a drag performance, to an Ariana Grande sex song, or a family-friendly drag brunch that is labeled family-friendly drag brunch. This kind of goes back to like pop stars, right? Is drag queens are kind of like pop stars in front of your kids.
Oh, yeah,
if
you were talking about this earlier.
we let our kids see all these pop stars, which conservatives, they to be fair, they have pushed back on that as well. Britney Spears. I remember when Britney Spears came out, like everybody thought she was so inappropriate, right? And they all were giving her so much crap for being so inappropriate. And she even did a Diane Sawyer interview, and Diane Sawyer asked her, do you think you're too inappropriate for your young fans? Do you think you're setting a bad example? It's really hard to be a parent in this country. And Britney Spears says, basically, I'm not their parent. Change the channel.
It's not my responsibility.
It's not my responsibility. Change the channel. And it's kind of true, right? Like, this is a performer. This person is doing a job. This person is at an event to do their job. And you as the parent need to decide if that is appropriate for your child or not, I think that comes down to you as a parent, right? I'm not a parent. I don't have a child, but if I did...
we do.
Oh, we do. And Brando...
Our Frenchie, Brando.
Exactly. And there ain't going to be no titties shaking in his face, right? But if I took him to a drag brunch labeled as a family-friendly drag brunch, actively promoted as a family-friendly drag brunch, then...
That'd be fun.
Responsibility kind of falls on, the place at the time, right? But I don't see a bunch of debaucherous behavior going on at a family-friendly drag brunch.
I feel like we're making a lot of noise when there's nothing there right now. And if there's issues, it seems to be more isolated.
Yeah.
And that could be taken care of. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this.
Now it's time to tell you all a little bit about our sponsor for today's episode, Helix Sleep. Helix is a premium mattress and a box company that makes beds to fit your unique sleep style. I woke up this morning and I had the best sleep of my life on our Helix Sleep mattress.
Our Helix Sleep mattress.
No less. I really did, though. I woke up in such a good mood, and I woke up like, when you hit that perfect spot of like the sheets are just cool enough, you wake up and the pillow's just cool enough, and your mattress is like the spot you're sleeping on the mattress is just cool enough. And I just felt like that, and I rolled myself over, it just like, it was just so good. It was so good. It was a really good sleep last night.
What's interesting, because I got a really bad sunburn.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
And usually it's super hard for me to sleep after I get a sunburn. But I'll tell you, in this mattress, which feels cool already, and the sheets we have, which are Helix Sleep sheets.
And pillows, man.
And pillows.
Oh, we're spokespeople.
It felt cool enough that I was comfortable enough to have a good, restful night's sleep.
Yeah. Helix knows that everybody is different and everybody has their own unique needs, and so they've made a sleep quiz that'll match you with your perfect mattress based on your needs. I am an all-over sleeper. Alastair's more of a side sleeper. He likes a firm mattress. I like, more medium. We took the quiz together and we got the Midnight Mattress. One of the best parts about Helix is that they deliver the mattress right to your door for free. It comes rolled up in a box and is super easy to set up yourself. And if it makes you nervous to buy something online that you haven't tried, Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you absolutely love it. And if you don't, they'll pick it up for you and you'll get a full refund. Now, if you're anybody you know is in the market for a new mattress and you think that Helix sounds right for you, you can go to helixsleep.com/tequila, where you can get up to $200 off of your mattress and
2 free pillows.
he's waiting for that one. And we're back.
Yes. So I've been watching the last 2 episodes. So I watched the last 2 episodes of Miss Marvel, and let me tell you, this is the best show from Disney Plus since WandaVision.
Since WandaVision? Okay,
Since
so now it's
WandaVision.
not besting WandaVision. Then I have not watched Miss Marvel. I've been hearing a bunch of praise
Yes.
from it, but I have
You-
not.
You've decided you're done. After Moon Knight, you're like, I'm
Listen,
not coming
there's
back
just
to
a
it.
lot of content. Again, I think I talked about this in our last episode, is that there's a lot of content to try to keep up with. And Miss Marvel is just, it's another Marvel show, and Marvel just never lets up on our necks. They're always having something out, and it's hard. It's difficult to keep up. My birthday, do you know that Thor: Love and Thunder's coming out on my damn birthday? You know what I have to go see on my fucking birthday?
Chris Hemsworth, but
Chris Hemsworth butt, which is fine. But
that's for you.
but to be fair, the last time when Halloween Kills came out, it came out on his birthday, so we had to go see Halloween Kills. That's what I'm
that's
saying,
true, that's
baby.
true.
We need to
Was
switch
it-
our birthdays. I really am. I
Yes, but
believe
then I
that
turned
this is
30
the
so much sooner.
He should be a July 7th baby, and I can be October 14th.
October 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have to switch it after I turn 30. But so did you know that? So right now, Miss Marvel has a 95% rating, which is the highest Disney Plus show, and it matches the other Marvel show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the highest rated Marvel show up until now, because they're now sharing the rating.
That's crazy, but also just kind of counter that. Miss Marvel was the least watched Marvel show on Disney
Yes.
Plus. It is not pulling in the audience, and I wonder what is the factor for that? What's the reason
I
for
think
that?
there's several factors. I
Okay.
think one, it's aimed at a younger audience, and I think
Does it read a lot younger?
It
a lot
reads younger, but it's super
Okay.
accessible. And I think that also it's Obi-Wan's fault. because,
Oh, that was probably a bad idea to premiere it alongside
yes,
Obi-Wan,
because
right?
they've been putting out Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's good,
They've been
y'all.
putting out all the
Obi-Wan's
Star
good.
Wars shows and the Disney shows on the same day.
Yeah.
When I have no clue why they're not breaking up the days for that, because then it gives everybody time to both enjoy both the shows, because it's 2 hours of content.
Yeah.
After work. And not everybody's going to do that. And so I think it was a horrible idea for Disney to do this. And I think it gave them, put them in a bad place. But it's gotten really good ratings. I've really loved the first 2 episodes. And it's also been praised by people in Pakistan. It's actually going to cinemas in Pakistan. So they're doing the first 2
really?
episodes, then the next 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6.
That's really cool.
All in cinemas, because
Yeah.
they're all so excited about it. Not only that, but Malala praised it as well. She sent a postcard to Disney, and Disney posted it to their Twitter. And she says this: "It is not every day that I turn on the TV and find a character who eats the same foods, listens to the same music, or uses the same Urdu phrases as me. What a joy to see Miss Marvel reflect the lives of Pakistani immigrant family and reveal a young superhero whose powers connect to her heritage. Thank you, Marvel and Disney, and most importantly, Miss Marvel." And so, this is such an important...
It's reaching a whole new audience, is what
Yes.
it's doing. Well, and that's what the new phase of Marvel's kind of been doing anyway, is that they're bringing in other cultures and other they're widening their audience, right?
Yes.
Past just the standard, white male ass kicker, right?
It's great because, they're bringing in a South Asian audience, but it's also amazing because Malala is a real Pakistani hero,
Yes.
praising
Yeah.
a
I
Marvel story about a
100%
Pakistani superhero.
recommend looking up her story because it's pretty damn incredible.
Yes.
honestly, and that's pretty cool that she's finding a little bit of kinship in that show. I just can't get into it.
Well, you haven't tried.
I
to
haven't
get
tried
into
it, but it's just it's the idea of trying to get into another Marvel show for me. It's
And I'm not going to force you. I'm just going to be talking about it every week.
I wonder if the word of mouth were there, if it would pick up a little bit more, because we haven't really reached a WandaVision kind of hype for any
No.
of these Marvel shows that came after it.
I think Loki came close, but not that much.
WandaVision was an exciting freaking show to watch. We were covering it, and we had to make sure to wake up at like 4 a.m. to watch this damn show, because as soon as you logged on to the internet, everybody was already talking about it, because everybody woke up the minute that
Nothing has been exciting since then.
Grace Randolph started her 3 a.m. watch-alongs to this, WandaVision, and everybody was just talking about it. And the word of mouth, I think, really increased its viewership, and like the hype. It had the hype.
Well, and then everybody was speculating every week about what was going on, and
you just you don't see that for the other ones, and I'm not seeing it for Miss Marvel either. Outside of my own little bubble and my friends in this bubble who are talking about it, like Ian's covering it for his podcast, so I see Slayerfest talking about it and people interacting with him. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot of people talking about Miss Marvel.
Which I think it definitely deserves to be talked about. If you haven't seen it and you're like, oh, I'm kind of off Disney Plus shows at this point, I think that if you're going to come back for a Disney Plus show, it'll be this show. So I definitely give it high
What are the
praise.
other ones coming out after this? It's She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. And then I don't remember after that.
I don't either. See, I just don't
I
even
wasn't
know.
ready to talk about stuff
Apparently,
after
there
this.
are people mad, though, that she is very different from the comics. So I've been reading a little bit of discourse about that. That Miss Marvel is super different from the comics. And that I think they changed her powers.
Oh, they changed her powers, but I think it makes sense. They changed it in a way that I think was respectful and made sense. But I've been really liking it.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. How many episodes is it? Do you know?
I think it's going to be 6 total.
Yeah. We also saw Buzz Lightyear last night at the Alamo Draft House.
Lightyear.
Yeah.
And I was crying halfway through.
It was 20 minutes into it. He was crying. He's like, it was pretty sad. Okay, you should already know, like, spoilers.
I loved it. I think the cinematography was great. Buzz Lightyear was kind of hot, honestly.
Is that considered cinematography? Can you have cinematography in a movie like that?
I consider it.
Okay.
I think it was great. I think it was set up well. I had a lot of beats that I liked. I do think that I really liked the story, but I think that this could have been a good second movie. I think that this could have been a good Lightyear 2, and the Lightyear 1 could have been about how they got stranded on this planet, his relationship with his best friend and all that stuff. And I think that would have been a really good one.
I just was not into this one. It was okay. It was not bad. It was
You
not,
loved Socks.
Here's the thing is, like, it wasn't boring. It was just, I did love Socks. I kept leaning over to Alastair and saying that was Brando. But it was just like,
I think you liked it.
It's a little dull.
Between hating it, disliking it, liking it, and loving it,
I think it was just fun, but I was never a Buzz Lightyear guy. I was never a Buzz Lightyear kid. I loved Jesse and the Roundup Crew. Okay, I loved Jesse and Bullseye, and that's a movie I want to see. I want to go see the. I hope this movie does really well, so that they do a Jesse movie. Woody's Roundup Crew, man. I'd love to see something. That could be a really good Disney Plus show, actually.
I think Chris Evans did pretty well in terms of voicing it.
Oh, I thought so too. It was a good movie. There's a kiss in there that everybody's like up in arms about, and they're all saying, "Well, why is there a lesbian?"
We did not
kiss?
see the lesbian kiss.
I didn't see the lesbian kiss. I don't know where it was. They say, like, everybody's saying that it's a blink and you miss it kiss. And I'm thinking maybe
we must have blinked at the same time.
We must have at the exact
Because
same
we
moment for
did
the
not
exact
see
same
it.
second, because I didn't see it, and it seemed like there's a moment where it looks like that's going to happen, and then it doesn't. And so I'm wondering if that was a cutout, but then it doesn't make sense for it to cut it out, because Disney's not cutting that scene out.
I was upset because I was like, they gave us the wrong version.
Yeah, well, like, what's the version, though? And, like, who made that cut? Can theaters make a cut to a movie? I wouldn't think so.
Well, they came out, saying that they weren't going to make a cut.
Yeah.
And actually, it was banned in 13 countries because of the lesbian
Disney won't-
kiss.
yeah,
And it came in under budget because they wanted it to make around $70 million this weekend. It made about around $50 million this weekend.
Oh, that's disappointing.
So that is disappointing. But like we even had our nephew went to go see it, and he was bored halfway through.
He got bored halfay through.
And
so
he
I
loves
think that just means it's
anything
a boring
Toy
movie.
Story.
Yeah.
And for me, watching it and thinking about Lucas, I hate to say it, but I don't think it was made as much with kids in mind.
I don't think so either. I think
Yeah,
it was more for us, and we are not as interested. You are, but I'm saying our demographic is not as interested. I want to check out the demographics on that. But
Let us know.
What else have we been watching? Obi-Wan's freaking amazing. I freaking love Obi-Wan.
Yes, we've been really enjoying oh my gosh, they had the scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan training again, and I was like, oh my gosh, I ship them.
That was really nice. Yeah, that's a really good show. I can't wait to finish that one. We have one more episode on that.
We have one more episode this week.
So weird. It just started.
Well, they only did 6 episodes.
Yeah. And then we got movies coming up that I'm really, really excited about. Elvis. I'm so excited for this damn Elvis movie. I love Baz Luhrmann's movies. He did The Great Gatsby. He did Romeo and Juliet.
Which is not my favorite
I
movie.
love his work. I just love his work so much, and I'm hoping that Elvis is going to be a freaking wild ride. I've read that it has a mashup of "Toxic" by Britney Spears and another song like mixed in there, and that just sounds wild to me. If you watch The Great Gatsby, they kind of turned the 20s like flapper music into I think Jay-Z took on the score and the soundtrack for that movie, and it's just like so fun, right? Because it's imaginative. It's it's pretend, it's play. Listen, I love what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm excited because you're excited.
I'm going to be very excited, and I'm hoping it lives up to like what I have, because I'm really trying not to hype myself up for movies anymore because I start getting disappointed, and that's been happening a lot lately.
Well, we also like religiously stay away from any trailers or like
Which is
anything
so
at all.
because they start putting out trailers like crazy now.
Yeah.
Now they're playing like a new Nope trailer in all the theaters, and I have to just like look down and like zone out because I don't even want to know what the damn movie's about.
There's like 3 different Thor trailers, and like.
It's just they start giving away too much, and then by you know everything that's going to happen
Yes.
because you've seen the trailer and everything. And the trailer is like pretty much everything in the movie. But I'm really excited for Elvis. I hope it's just freaking wild. You know, these movies and these TV shows are just our escape. You know, the world is freaking crazy, man. It is crazy in this country right now. I love my country. I love it. You know, but. It's got a lot of problems right now, and we are more divided than we have ever been, and it's a really dark place to be right now. And I just want to see Britney Spears is toxic in an Elvis movie. That's all I want to see, right? The Black Phone is also coming out with Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke is superb in any horror movie he ever's in. He's in a movie called Sinister that is just phenomenal. I love Ethan Hawke anyway. I fell in love with Ethan Hawke. Do you want to know what movie I fell in love with him in?
Moonlight. Yeah,
Ethan. Oh no. He wasn't Moonlight, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He's a little creepy. He's a little creepy in that one. Before Midnight. Or
Oh my
Before Sunset.
gosh,
That
yes.
whole trilogy. I just like. It is just a
Before
trilogy
Sunset.
of movies with him and this girl, and they just like walk around and talk, and like you see like a couple hours of their life,
And it's not scripted either.
so basic. It is such a basic premise, and it just is.
So you start it and you're like, I'm gonna hate this. Such a good.
You have to watch it.
Great
It is.
movies.
I actually want to like get the exact names right because I know it's like.
I think it's Before Sunrise.
Before Sunset.
Before Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Uh,
It's see, it's just like a
Before Sunset.
Before a sunset.
No,
and-
Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and then Before Midnight or something like that.
Is that what you? Is that your
That's what I'm
final
going for,
answer? Okay.
Yes.
It is Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight.
Yes, I got it right. Look at that.
Look at you, baby. Look at you.
If this was a game, I'd win.
Ethan Hawke, though. I'm a big Ethan Hawke fan now.
Stranger Things?
Yeah. Stranger Things is coming very fast. We finished we watched that season of Stranger Things.
Volume 1 of Stranger Things season 4.
A little bit later than everybody else, just because the hype. I'm like, we don't
But
want
we
to hop on
loved
that.
it.
bandwagon.
Honestly, we really
did.
we
It was the
really
best
loved
season
it.
of Stranger Things that I've watched. Season 3
We
was,
haven't finished it, so
exactly. Season 3 was a kind of a drag. It drug a little
Slight,
bit.
yeah.
This one was like so good to me. I loved this one, and season 4 part 2 is coming out soon, and super excited to see
we're
that one.
psyched. I think it's coming out July 1st.
They just released like a preview though, and like Dustin's screaming, and everybody's
I've
like,
been avoiding
everybody's
it.
like,
I've been avoiding it again. I don't want to see anything.
everybody's like,
until I
why
have
is
it.
Dustin screaming? What's happening to Steve?
Everybody on Twitter is like, Daddy Vecna. And I'm like, I don't want
Goodness, that's there's a picture of Vecna like giggling behind the scenes. Have you seen that one? It is so funny. It is hilarious.
I just like the ones of what's your song that's gonna pull you out of Vecna's thing? Oh yeah.
It's good. What would be your song to pull you out of Vecna?
Oh gosh.
This is a problem I have with you. Is like I don't exactly know your movies or your music tastes. I don't know it. I don't know what your
would say
favorite
I'm
song
not
is.
a big music
What's your
person.
favorite song, buddy?
I would always prefer to listen to an audiobook or listen to a podcast over music.
Do you have a favorite song? This is what happens when I ask him his favorite song. He goes into other things and starts talking about other things. What is your favorite song? Do you have a favorite song?
Dun, 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 dun.
Just the Buffy theme song. It's okay. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna remember that. At your
Or Tabaco and Chanel.
Tobacco and Chanel.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the Basilios, I think.
Okay.
I've tried to get you to like it, but I don't think you like it.
Okay, well, what would be your Vecna song then? Would it be Tobacco and Chanel?
We'll
would I
go with
play that one?
We'll go with that one.
But no, the song that they do play during the Vecna part,
Yes.
it's Running Up That Hill.
Running Up That Hill.
Listen, y'all. We are absolutely, admittedly, had never heard it.
But we are not obsessed. We're like everybody else in the world, we're obsessed.
We don't get to be the people who are like, I already knew that song before it even became popular.
Oh, you didn't know about Running Up That Hill?
Yeah.
Well, I already ran up it.
I didn't, but it is. I quickly became obsessed with it.
So it's crazy because this Kate Bush. So from what I've seen is that she's reticent to let media use her songs, but she was already a fan of Stranger Things, and they'd already storygraphed the parts where they were going to use her song and how it was put into the actual story. Because Max, who had just lost her brother and running up that hill, is like talking about like taking somebody else's place.
Yeah,
and she's going through the trauma.
Can I read a couple of
like
lyrics real quick?
Yes.
Okay. I think the lyrics are what really got me right. How about I read just the chorus, I guess. The chorus is just really good, right? It's really catchy and it's different. And it's like, I think they made in the article that you sent me, she mentions that back then it was different than anything that was being put out at that moment. And like now it's still different than anything that's out there. So it's pretty unique in that way. If only I could make a deal with God and I'd get him to swap our places, be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building, say if I could only Yeah, I mean that's just such it's such a simple chorus and so amazing at the same time, and there's just so much in there. Like if you are a person who likes to go through poetry and analyze it, and that's just like gold right there.
And you can see how it's integral for the storyline, especially of Max's character and her not being able to like save her brother.
Yeah,
and so I really liked it. I really liked how they wove it into the story. And so because of this, like Kate Bush is like all surprised that it's the number one song in the world right now, thanks to Stranger Things. It's the number one most streamed song in the world at 57 million streams as of last time I looked it up. I think it was for a BBC article, and then number one on several country charts in addition to the UK chart. And this is
so it went number one in the UK. What is it in the US? Do you know?
It's in the top 10. I think it was 8 last time I checked. But so this is her second time being number one in the UK, and the break between the two number ones is 44 years. So she got number one for her song "Wuthering Heights" 44 years ago, and now she's getting number one again for this one. And it's interesting because this is also the first time she's been in the top 10 in the US.
US Billboard Hot 100, number 4 for Running Up That Hill. Top 10.
Number 4, approaching number 1. And it's interesting because I didn't know this until now, but for older songs, for newer songs, they count 100 streams as a purchase for all these charts.
Yeah.
But for older songs, they count 200 streams as a purchase for the song, so it takes longer for the older songs to get up.
Yeah.
Unless the label decides to reset the song if there's been enough time between the songs. And so the label decided to reset the song.
Did they
so now
really?
It counts as 100 streams, and so it really helped boost it as well.
That is pretty incredible, honestly.
Yeah.
And I bet she is collecting a fat check.
I hope so.
On this
I
song.
hope so.
Because I think she produced it and came up with it and wrote it. A songwriter, Kate Bush. Producer, Kate Bush. She did the whole damn thing. That is how, you know why Mariah Carey's so damn rich? It's because she wrote all of her freaking music, right? Put a writing credit on that shit. You're going to be collecting
Beyonce
checks.
puts writing credits on every single...
We're not talking about it. Let's not do this.
What?
I love her, and we're not going to trash Beyonce right now.
No, I was going to say she puts a writing credit on every single song that she puts out.
There's a lot of controversy about that.
So?
Changing a word and putting a writing credit on
Well, she's
a
about
song.
to put out an album, so...
It's just really cool for Kate Bush, and I hope she's getting super rich off this song.
I hope so too.
I wonder how much money she's like getting. I would like her to like post one of her cheks on like Instagram or something.
She's not going to do that.
just
She
wish
seems
she
like a
would.
kind of private person.
just want to do that. Just do it.
So
Do it.
I don't know. Hey, you know what? Maybe she put out another album if you want.
There you go. There you go.
We need to check out her other songs too. Wuthering Heights was her other big song.
She does have other music, and like we've only played this one.
Yeah.
we haven't got it.
we need to check out.
It
her
came.
other
This
one.
was on the Wuthering Heights album, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Actually, I don't know.
Hold on.
Don't quote me on that one.
Hounds of Love album. Sorry, Hounds of Love.
Hey, buddy.
He like sits on his and just like looks up at us. Sometimes, have you ever seen us looking off camera and just looking at the floor? He's like sitting there staring at us because he just
wants to be
starved
included.
for attention. I think we're gonna get him a chair for the center and just let him sit here, and we'll get him a little coffee cup,
We'll get him a little mic too.
a little mug. Yeah. All right, guys, we're kind of coming to the end of our time together for this episode, but we thought we'd do a little bit of something fun. I am an amateur collector of dolls, and a lot of the doll channels that I follow on, I love watching people unbox dolls, right? All the dolls that I would like just won't have. I love people unboxing dolls, and a lot of them will make like little sets and little like storefronts and stuff like that, and so they always use mini brands from like Target, and they're just so cool. And so we've never opened one, and we really want to open one, and we saw them at Target today, so we're gonna do that today.
So
if
we're
you're
gonna
on-
try to be very verbal about like what we're saying.
Well, I guess I might just like cut this part out of the audio episode.
think so?
Yeah, and then if you're listening on
a little
podcast format,
treat.
just go over to. Sometimes we have little like video stuff that you can go over to the video version of this, and if you want to watch us kind of unbox this thing, I'm gonna cut it because I don't want you seeing me.
No,
do
actually,
this.
just take this one.
I don't have any nails, y'all. So my first, let's just go at the same time. Okay, we'll do each of ours at the same time. Kind of save a little bit of time. I got it's just like a box. It's a Mickey Mouse kitchen set, but I'm guessing there's no Mickey Mouse kitchen set in here.
There's no like you can't view it.
Hold on, there better be a damn kitchen set in this. Oh, what is that? Oh, son of a bitch! There is no kitchen set. It feels like it. They just put a little like a cardboard in there, so it feels like something's in there. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
It looks like a damn cereal box.
I got a C-3PO.
Is it gold?
So, it is gold. Do you see it?
Okay, let's do the next one. My first one was a dud. So far, not impressed.
Let's do
Ready?
it. I'm liking it.
Freak, yeah, man. I got a freaking Jesse.
A Jesse. You were just talking about Jesse.
Woody's Roundup, okay? Give me this spinoff right here. I love these things. Okay, perfect.
I got a really small Snow White. I think as a child.
Oh, that's cute. If you get an Ariel, I'd like an Ariel. Might display an Ariel. Should we make a storefront like the doll collector or the doll video makers do?
I have a bookcase right here.
You do? Oh my gosh.
We'll
Alastair,
start
give
putting it on
to
the
me.
bookcase.
Give it to me. Okay. Open your next one because I already opened one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oops.
What is that?
Don't. It's like a Walkman. It's a Princess Walkman.
I got a Buzz Lightyear. So I have a Buzz
Look at
Lightyear
that. That's perfect for this episode too.
and a Jesse. I got both of these. Make sure you're showing the camera.
Oh yeah, I got a Walkman or Walkwoman princess.
It's cute. All right, next one. Is this 4 or 5?
I think this is. Oh gosh, I don't
4.
know.
This is 4.
4.
Okay. This is fun. I think these are rare. I don't think they're worth anything, but it's a gold Buzz Lightyear. And I think these are like, I saw a little like paper that said that they have like a gold series
Yes.
that are limited.
I feel like they're limited, but they'd be easier to make, right?
I've looked at them on YouTube and I'm like, or on eBay, and I'm like, what if I found all the gold
You are
ones?
gonna
How much
be
would that be?
so jelly of what I got.
Is it Ariel?
No,
What is it?
it's Darth Vader.
Son of a
Don't
bitch.
hurt it.
I want this. I'll trade you my Mickey Mouse kitchen set.
You can keep your Mickey Mouse kitchen set.
Okay, last one. Ready?
Ready.
Snow White.
Oh, now we got 2.
Yeah.
And
Joy.
I got the gosh, what is it called? The claw.
The aliens, yeah.
The claw aliens.
My client. That's what he
From
does.
Toy Story.
And then we have a.
He's looking at us opening all the
Oh,
toys.
he's like super
"What's
excited
the-"
about it. He's like, oh, we should have included him in this one.
He's like, which one's from me?
He's like, I want it too. Yeah, and then they have a paper with all the things that you can get in it. So you can get all of the Disney princesses. I'd like to get Ariel. And then they have the entire Gold series. They have a bunch of Marvel ones. The Marvel ones would have been cool. They have Thor's hammer. They have Black Widow. I want Black Widow.
Oh my gosh, I would love Black Widow.
This was fun. And I want a bullseye. I want a bullseye with my Jesse. Okay.
So it doesn't really fit onto my.
I know,
thing.
does it? Does it sound bad that I want to do more of these? I think I'm addicted.
I kind of really like them too. And then we can just like, I think that these would be really good stocking stuffers.
For like all the kids. Oh
Yes,
my
I think
gosh.
these would be
Your
really good
family,
stocking
especially with
stuffers.
all of our nieces and nephews, they would go wild over this.
They would. They'd go crazy.
I'm going to give Giselle these. I'm going to give Giselle like 5 of them.
She'd be like, what?
If you drink. That was such a great show, guys. Thank you so much for checking in with us.
Loved it.
We loved it. We had a fantastic show. If you've enjoyed this episode, as always, make sure to leave us a comment and a like down below. Comment what song from the past that you think should make a resurgence and come back to number 1.
And please leave us some 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and a review. We love any type of feedback.
It just really, the point is it pushes us and it gets us a little bit more of an audience.
Gets us good in the algorithm.
People will have more of a chance of seeing our podcast, which we're super proud of. If we have more ratings and stuff like that. And after the last one, y'all freaking rocked it, man. Like y'all
Thank you
us
so
from
much.
32 to like 47,
48.
reviews. 40. I don't know.
Maybe
It's a
I
lot.
said that wrong.
It's a lot.
Maybe
of
it was
them.
wishful thinking.
By the
I
end
don't
of
know.
summer,
Have to check
I'd
it
like
again.
100.
Ooh.
Ooh, 100 ratings.
We're going to check it at the end of summer.
It's gonna be 49.
I think that's in September. September's the end of summer, right?
We hope this episode has been really nice for your morning too. It's gonna be a great week. You know, it's gonna be a fantastic week. This week is something's coming to you that you deserve, you love. I wish I was like one of those influencers that could like spray you and like pull something. Like breathe, okay, breathe out, breathe in, pulling the negative energy, checking your aura.
I do like that.
Oh, I always follow them and I breathe to my screen. I'm like, I always follow it.
So, sending good vibes.
Bye, guys.
Adios.